Welcome back to the World of Wraith YouTube channel. Now we got another 4 heroes you should play for new players to Flesh and Blood. If you haven't checked the last video, I'll leave it at the end for more heroes you should be playing or new heroes to pick up. But before we get started, I want to talk about a quick guide. So I'll be talking about these heroes, and I'm also going to be saying how difficult it is to play, how hard it is to play optimally, how good they are in the current meta, budget options you have for the heroes, their playing style, how fun it is to play the deck, and will the hero Living Legend soon. For those of you that don't know what Living Legend is, essentially, Flesh and Blood heroes, once they hit 1,000 plus Living Legend points, which they earn by winning major, tournaments like Callings or Battle Hardens or Pro Tours, once they pass that threshold, they are no longer allowed to be played in Classic Constructed, can only be played in Living Legend. Let's start off with Jarl. Jarl is an ice and ice and earth hero. Whenever you play an ice card, create a frostbite token under exposed head, chest, arm, or leg zones. Essentially, if your opponent doesn't have an equipment on because it broke due to Blade Braid or Temper or you've destroyed it, whenever you play an ice card, you're going to be giving them frostbite, which forces them to pay one extra resource whenever playing a card or activating an ability or even swinging with your weapon. He likes cards like Guardian cards that have on hits. He also likes using ice cards that kind of control your opponent. Spinal Crush and Channel Lake Frigid are some of his key cards. For difficulty, I would say he's not too hard of a deck to play, but to play him optimally can get pretty hard. I think he has a good spot in the meta. Illusionists are tough for him, like many Guardians, but he does pretty good against ninjas, and I'm expecting to see a lot of ninjas in the upcoming meta. I would say he's pretty budget friendly. Getting his armory deck and then maybe buying a playset of Okanotes, you should be good to go for your armory level. And then there's a lot of different cards you can get to upgrade him if you do want to sink more money into the deck. So, very good for budget players. His playstyle is more defensive, and he likes to control his opponents with ice. I would say he's pretty fun to play. You really do feel like a big ice guardian when you're playing him. And as of now, he has 0 Living Legend points, so I wouldn't worry too much about him Living Legend. You're going to be able to play him for a long time coming. Next up, we got Aurora. Aurora is an elemental rune blade that can use lightning. For 2 resources, she makes an embodiment of lightning. She likes using cards that, either get Go Again, attack you for 4, or both of them. Some of her cards like Arc Lightning and Gone in a Flash, very powerful. It just dropped on Rosetta. Cards like Channel Lightning Valley that are instants, that let you draw a card the first time you deal damage, and cards like Entwined Lightning that give you Go Again. Her weapon Starfall, for 1 resource, you can attack, and if you've played a lightning card this turn, you get +2, it becomes 2, and has Go Again. I would say she's pretty easy to play. She's a very aggressive hero that wants to use her hand offensively most of the time, but playing her optimally will be a little harder. She has a great spot in the meta ever since she came out in Rosetta. She's been a great A-tier hero. She's one of the least budget-friendly decks I have on this list. I think if you really want to play her, even in your armories, you're going to have to get a couple of Majestics, but she has the First Strike Blitz decks. If you want to start, you can buy 2 of those, pick up your Majestics slowly, and I think you have a pretty solid deck. Aurora can steal a lot of games just of the fact that her deck has so much damage, so much 0 for 4s within her. It's a very powerful deck, great for budget players in that way. It's mainly an aggressive deck, but she's been also known to go a little bit more mid-rangey. She can play some D-Reacts, And then for fun, I would say she's a pretty fun deck to play. Can't really go wrong when playing Aurora. You can do these huge damage turns. In terms of Living Legends, she's at 370, so she's almost halfway there, but I think she'll be here for the whole 2025 year, so don't worry about her leaving too soon. Next up, we got a fan favorite, Ira. Ira is a ninja, but unlike most ninjas who really love to play an aggressive game, she plays more of a value game, mid-rangey, using cards like Flick Flag to really get a lot of value out of your defensive plays. Cards like Mauling Key that have good value, 1 for 5. Cards like Looking for Scrap for 1 resource, can be 5 go again. Sink Below, another great defensive card that she loves to play. She's not too hard to play, but playing her optimally can be a little difficulty. I would say she has a pretty good spot in the meta. She's not super popular, but I have seen her pop up on Battle Hardens and Callings and top a couple of them. I would say she's not that budget friendly, kind of like Aurora. You can start with the core of the deck, and that should be pretty cheap. But as you want to upgrade them, you're going to have to put some money into the legendaries, and Ninja legendaries are very up right now. But you don't have to start off with them. To play her defensive slash offensive mid-range game plan, you don't necessarily need the legendaries. Once you get the main deck, that's her core. Cards like Flick Flack and Spinning Wheel Kick, Looking for Scrap. Some cards that do go again, and then cards that block good are her main plan. She's pretty fun to play, and in terms of Living Legend, she only has 5 points, so I think she has a long way to go. Don't worry about if she goes. She has a long time here. I think she'll be here for 2025 and 2026. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to attend your calling pre-release at your local LGS. If there's any heroes you think I missed, leave a comment down below. Let me know what heroes you think are great for new players. Or if you're not, an experienced player that can recommend heroes, let me know down below what heroes you think you would like to pick up, if they're in this list or even if they're not. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Peace.